Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. I've got Bitcoin here on the hourly. You guys can see Bitcoin, still just kind of holding $20,000 roughly. We're at $20,462 for a Bitcoin. You guys can see we're retracing back to this level that we saw mid-month. But really, Bitcoin has just been vacillating, and we're not seeing too much movement to the downside or to the upside. Holding this strong level of support, the rest of the crypto market is following along with it. We're really not going to get bullish confirmation until we get to about here at $28,200. That is the next logical level before we really notice a breakout where Bitcoin makes new highs. I guess some could argue that we should get above this first, $22,900, so roughly $23,000. However, that level to me not so significant considering how much work we still have to do here. If I bring up XRP on the chart, you guys can see we did see that double bounce here. We did make a new high, but now we're back down. However, we are trending up, guys. We are trending up. So, it is looking positive. XRP right now just trading shy of 33 cents, so it is slowly moving to the upside. And the crypto market seeing a relatively positive day today. Everything is up just a little bit. So again, not too much movement. However, it is a bit of a green day. And so I saw this from Walter Bloomberg here on Twitter. Cryptocurrency exchange FTX has more than $2 billion to backstop the crypto industry if needed. So this is coming from Sam Bankman-Fried. And if you guys remember, I mentioned it in a video I did last week. The fact that we are seeing guys like Sam Bankman-Fried inject money into the crypto industry, bailing out some of the big companies, that is a sign likely that the bottom is in, because we wouldn't see that happen unless we were either at the bottom or very close to a bottom. And, he basically stated this here in the article. The worst appears to be over for the liquidity crunch in the crypto industry. So this coming directly from the FTX CEO. And here is just an article from the Financial Post just kind of describing a little more what Sam Bankman-Fried has been doing. So it is looking fairly positive. However, we still could see a Bitcoin drop even further, but I think that would be the last of it. Like I said before, the summer, not going to be too exciting for cryptocurrency. That's my prediction. Wrath of Kahneman bringing this up with regards to Ripple investor SBI Holdings and one of Ripple's partners, Nomura. Now, they are collaborating to invest in Web3 tokens as venture capital. Japanese firms Nomura and SBI plan to work together to invest venture capital funds in crypto tokens for startups. This is reported by the Nikkei. A quote best summed up the rationale: if we don't have the means to invest in tokens, we will not be able to invest in Web3 companies that mainly raise funds with tokens. This coming from Takeshi Goto, an EVP at SBI Investment, a venture subsidiary, and also plans to set up a fund to invest in tokens this year. In other countries, it's common for venture capital firms to invest in startup cryptocurrency tokens, either in addition to equity or instead of it. A16Z Crypto, part of Andreessen Horowitz, is the highest profile and recently raised a fourth crypto fund of $4.5 billion. Its previous crypto funds totaled $3.1 billion. So two Ripple partners, SBI being one of the bigger ones, they are now investing to support crypto token startups looking towards Web3 companies specifically. So the industry right behind closed doors is continuing to build, the developers continuing to build out. Like yesterday, for example, I was just mentioning some other news with regards to development on the XRPL and that NFT protocol, the XLS-20. So there is still a lot of development going on, and these companies that have already committed to Ripple, we're also seeing them thrive. So those are all very, very good signs. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for pointing that out. I also saw this guy's from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP will now be accepted as payment by Canadian food tech WeCook. So this is, I'm guessing, it sounds like it's a Canadian company. Dogecoin, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies are now accepted as payment methods by Canadian food tech company WeCook, as Nuvei announced its partnership with the ready-to-eat meal delivery platform. WeCook will be utilizing Nuvei's payment technology and support to run both its business-to-business and direct-to-customer payment processing needs. A pioneer in the meal subscription business, Montreal-based WeCook reportedly delivered more than 4 million meals throughout Quebec and Ontario in 2021. In March of 2021, Nuvei declared support for over 40 cryptocurrencies, allowing merchants to interact with the payment service provider to send and receive payments across 200 countries using a variety of different cryptocurrencies, and some of those include Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Neo, XRP, Dogecoin, Redcoin, Bitcoin Gold, and USDT. So crypto as a payment, and I mean, we know in Canada, XRP is considered a currency, doesn't follow along the same guidelines, or at least there is not the uncertainty as there is in the United States. So I can see why companies would decide to start using cryptocurrencies, especially the fast ones like XRP, for payments for their specific services. It's just going to add another, I suppose, a convenience for the end user, another option to be able to pay in. I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed when I went to my local sushi restaurant the last time I went there. They said they accepted crypto. They said they accepted Bitcoin specifically. And I said, you know, I was just giving them the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, you accept Bitcoin. Can I pay in Bitcoin? How can I do that? Just kind of tell me what I need to do and I'll do that. And, you know, they kind of talked in the back for a little bit, and she came back out and she said, oh, no, we tried that once and it didn't quite work well, so we're not doing that. And, you know, her English wasn't that great either. I don't know if it was maybe lost in the translation, but I think that was the point she was trying to get across. You know, the payment flow right now for businesses is just not there yet. And so, you know, if companies want to start really accepting cryptocurrency, there needs to be a way to accept all types of different cryptocurrencies fast, efficiently. Of course, we know you can send Bitcoin on the XRPL with the Spend the Bits wallet, for example. But I think the problem there is the other end, they have to also be using that same Spend the Bits wallet. So, you know, there's still a lot of hangups with XRP, for example. I mean, you can transfer that over the ledger. It's boom, fast there in your wallet almost instantly. But anyway, I'm getting a little off topic. Interesting to see that this Montreal-based company, WeCook, is now accepting payments in several different cryptocurrencies, including XRP. So I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for bringing that up. John Deaton here letting us know that he might actually have to sue the SEC over his FOIA request for Hinman's calendar. Initially, the SEC argued his calendar was created only for his personal convenience and did not constitute an agency record. Can you believe such nonsense? Like nobody else utilized his calendar? I appealed this absurd finding, arguing that other agency employees would have relied on his calendar to conduct agency business. We have proof thanks to the Empower Oversight Committee suing the SEC. Notice how Hinman refers the ethics chief to his calendar in order to schedule a meeting. So this was from an email here. Analysis is the same for Simpson as it always has been. You have a bar under the criminal financial conflict. Let me just get back to that original thread here. The Office of General Counsel finally agreed that the calendar was in fact an agency record and remanded the appeal for further action. That was December 2021. On March 1st, 2022, the SEC FOIA specialist informed my office that she was still consulting with other SEC staff. So is John Deaton going to sue the SEC now for Hinman's calendar, allowing it to be entered as evidence and not just a personal convenience? This is, in fact, agency record. All different parts of this suit coming together, guys. We recently also just got this coming from MacAttack XRB, tweeting out this article from AMB Crypto. SEC versus Ripple, is the regulator moving to strike every single witness in the lawsuit? You got to be kidding me here. The lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple continues to see new developments. We discussed a little bit about the amici curiae, which John Deaton filed for. He further asked the U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres to consider his views of XRP holders. Since then, both sides took turns representing their respective views. So this has to do with this latest development posted by James K. Filan here, and I have his tweet here. The SEC has sought permission to file one omnibus, one big motion, to exclude or limit expert testimony, up to 120 pages long. Ripple defendants do not object, provided that they will be allowed the same page limit for their response in opposition. So here is the letter, guys. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested in reading that. The SEC intends to file motions to exclude or limit the testimony of 10 experts who were retained by Ripple Labs and or Christian Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, but no Exhibit A proposed order is attached. So Jeremy Hogan here asking, they are moving to strike every single witness, and it looks as though that is the case. Others had a more aggressive approach after hearing this development, but the main question still remains. Is there an end to this everlasting brawl? Well, here's what Hogan had to say about this. According to Jeremy Hogan, the court's decision on the emails of former SEC official William Hinman might arrive soon. So he posted this a couple of days ago now. We are still expecting a decision with regards to the Hinman emails, but it looks as though the SEC wants to actually strike every single expert witness. Fred Rispoli responding down here to attorney Jeremy Hogan. Do we know there are only 10 experts between Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson? I can't remember the source, but I thought they had at least 14. This is highly routine and ordinary in high-stakes litigation. Ripple will be moving to strike all the SEC's witnesses, expert witnesses as well. Now you know why. Ripple just staffed up with 2 more attorneys. So that was the news yesterday. They hired on Clayton Masterman, and I believe it was Kaylee Kim. Some in the XRP community were wondering, okay, they're getting new attorneys, more attorneys to help with the case. And it turns out that these are associate attorneys brought in to do more research and more legwork. And so Fred Rispoli just kind of pointing out the obvious now. It looks as though we know why Ripple did have to bring in those extra attorneys. XRP Crypto Wolf posting, Ripple lawyers are clearly not scared of SEC lawyers, obviously. Jimbo down here saying, so typical that the SEC would seek to invalidate every single sentence of the defendant's expert testimony. This isn't about the testimony at all. This is just yet more wasting time and dragging out the case with nonsense issues that made up objections. What a farce. It sounds as though it is getting quite ridiculous, but at the end of the day, the SEC, if you look at it from their point of view, they've got turf to protect. And they realize, at least in my opinion, after what we've seen now over the last year and a half or so, in my opinion, I think they're sunk, and I think a lot of you guys share that same opinion. They're sunk, and they're grasping at straws. They're trying to delay as long as possible because they know what's on the line. They know if they can delay long enough before the government comes down with real kind of solid cryptocurrency regulatory clarity, they can at least say, okay, we'll let this one go, but from here on out, now that there's clarity, now that there's a clarification from the government on cryptocurrency regulations, we can now start using that framework moving forward. And depending on what that is, they might not see that it is in their favor. So they could be trying to get the most out of this as possible. I don't know how else to put it, but they could be trying to benefit from this situation as much as they can before the crap hits the fan and real regulation comes in. And at that point, and this is why I don't think they've been giving the guidance either, because they didn't want real regulation. They didn't want to tie themselves to, okay, this is the way it is. Let's just be as vague as possible. And so, here is where we are. Ripple is kind of in the middle of it. Luckily for us, there are many other cryptocurrency companies and crypto projects that don't have the manpower, that don't have the resources, the deep pockets. Lucky for us, Ripple, has spent, what was the quote, $100 million on this lawsuit, or by the time they're done, it's going to be $100 million. So lucky for us, Ripple is there to fight. The cryptocurrency XRP is really at stake here for XRP hodlers, but not just for that, for the entire industry to move all the money. And ultimately, guys, Ripple has a goal. They don't want to piss off the SEC too much. If you guys saw Jeremy Hogan here on Crypto Wendy O's podcast, here's a little bit about what he thinks with regards to Ripple, the lawsuit, and how they're playing it strategically.
And there's one major reason why I believe that. Ripple wants to do an IPO, and they've said that publicly, and they've said as soon as this lawsuit is over, they're going to do an IPO. Now, if they're going to do an IPO, what do they have to do? They have to register with the SEC anyway, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose of it. They can become a publicly traded company. Now, if you were to tell me that they weren't going to IPO, I would be like, well, maybe they're going to take it all the way to the end. But if they have to register anyway, this just becomes a matter of money. You could argue that whether XRP is a security or not is going to be an issue, and they might move forward on that issue alone. But it doesn't make any sense to me if it's just a matter of money to not work out a number with the SEC where the SEC can claim victory and say, look, we got $100 million from them, and they admitted that they did some things wrong 5 years ago, and then clear the way for their IPO, because they're going to have to register anyway. So this is not an issue of they don't want to register with the SEC. It's just really become an issue of money for me. And that issue is much easier to resolve in litigation than other issues like registration and those type of things.
So there you have it, an issue of money, something that can be easily fixed when you have a lot of money. I mean, you throw money at a problem and it gets resolved. So why fight them more than they have to? Jeremy Hogan here, I'm assuming, is suggesting that they will settle before going to trial. They need to register with the SEC. The SEC has to let the company Ripple register in order to launch that IPO. So, in my mind, I feel like Ripple is being strategic because they know there's an IPO at stake. There's also, of course, what they do as a company, right? Providing bank software, leveraging XRP for liquidity in order to provide a better mousetrap for cross-border payments specifically. So it is a bit of a strategic move. I think it could be a win-win-win situation for the SEC, for Ripple, and for us. Jeremy Hogan insisting there could be a settlement soon. We're still waiting on the Hinman email verdict. And in the meantime, what the heck is this nonsense? Striking every single expert witness from the list. Again, perhaps another stall tactic, even though, I mean, Fred Rispoli does say this is highly routine and ordinary in high-stakes litigation, and he does assume Ripple will also move to strike all of the SEC's expert witnesses as well. So, are we just to expect that this is normal? I don't know. Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.